crypto in the United States just took another hit, folks. Bittrex has exited the building. Now, I will give you that when I used Bittrex several years ago, the UI was really awful and I didn't really use it. But they actually did have quite a few coins and I never had any problems with Bittrex. But now they are out of the building. Only in the United States, though. Bittrex Global will continue to operate in Europe. And I don't know if the US and Europe have a plan to make the euro more dominant in the future, because that's really what it's looking like right now. Note that out of all the world's currencies, the euro is by far the closest to the US. They're talking about maybe a BRICS currency, but they're probably going to be talking about it for like the next 10, 15 years without actually making one. But the euro, they actually have a currency, and the euro's economic union is much, much stronger than the BRICS economic union because they're actually all in the same geopolitical location, and they have many of the same interests. Because of that, they're not disparate and throughout the rest of the world. They are somewhat of a united front, at least geographically, and they have certain common interests. The thing is, they're already 30% of the SDR, if you didn't know. The US dollar is like 45%, the euro is like 30%, and then the rest of the countries are very, very little. And together, all put together, the EU actually has more GDP and economic power than the United States. So the thing is, those countries actually have a chance to actually surpass the United States in terms of a global currency. And you know what? Bittrex is going to be using the euro a lot more than the USD now. They are basically trying to get all the big crypto exchanges out of the United States and into Europe right now. I don't really know why. Maybe there's some kind of plan to basically like make the euro parallel on even terms of the US, but I think that'd be a pretty dumb plan for the US to actually sign on to. The reason they cited was that regulatory requirements are often unclear and enforced without appropriate discussion or input. That's pointing right at the SEC and their enforcement, regulation by enforcement policy. It's getting very, very unfriendly for most cryptocurrencies. Not really a viable crypto environment for the United States and for the companies that want to operate in the United States. So that's extremely bad for anyone that actually wants to have a crypto business in America. It's just not economically viable right now. I think Coinbase might be the only one left after a while. Binance.us wants to remain in the US, but the lawsuit right now could prevent Binance.us from ever registering in the future. So it might be that Coinbase and maybe Kraken are the only ones that are actually left in the United States after a while. And even Coinbase has lodged many complaints, especially about staking, and they're even trying to expand overseas because the US market may not just be that profitable. They're trying to squeeze everything out in the US, Operation Choke Point 2.0, but they're not thinking because the rest of the world is not playing Operation Choke Point 2.0. You're playing Operation Choke Point 2.0. The rest of the world's like, yeah, we want your money. Come here. And that's not going to do well for the US dollar. See, the rest of the world is not playing along, so you have to actually accept what a lot of the other countries in the world are doing. Plus, not everyone in the US, obviously, is for this plan. So I don't think their choke point thing is going to work. I think it's going to really hurt them in the future. Elizabeth Warren's campaign to build an anti-crypto army is also not going to work. And I think you're going to turn a lot of people against you if you actually insist on doing this stupid kind of nonsense. However, this is another blow to crypto in the United States. It's not like too worrying for me because I didn't really like Bittrex all that much in terms of their UI and everything, but I did want that option. So they are leaving the United States on April 30th. You need to get all your funds out of Bittrex if you're in the United States, but your funds are safe and they're not hijacking your funds. They're just leaving the United States because it's not viable to do business in the United States anymore. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.